first half of the year is done, and a lot has happened in real estate. So we're going to talk about what happened and what we think is going to happen for the rest of the year 2023 in real estate. Let's get it, see?
Let's talk about it. So it's July 2023. Home values are still increasing in a high interest rate environment. Otis, what do you think?
Man, I think it's stressful. I think it's stressful. But no, this is everything that we've been saying, right? A lot of people we're waiting on the crash, prices are going to fall, et cetera, et cetera. That hasn't happened, right? And so we're going to talk about some of the reasons why, but right now we're seeing home values not only staying hard where they are, but also increasing. And that's, simple supply and demand.
Right. So there's a lot less homes for sale, a lot more people looking to buy. So home values are shooting through the roof. Also, the Federal Reserve, they recently stopped raising interest rates. Otis, you're like the Fed chair of Monarch.
I'm Jerome Powell's assistant, if you will. But yeah, so the Federal Reserve has been increasing interest rates to combat inflation for the last several months, right? Dating all the way back into the end of 2022. But we know that that's caused a lot of hurt and pain in our economy, right? So the Federal Reserve paused. I don't think they're done yet, right? Because inflation is not getting to the point where they want it to be. Inflation right now is currently over 6%, and the goal is for it to be at 2%, right? And the way you combat that is you bring higher interest on the money that is being borrowed, right? And so I do think we'll probably see another quarter, maybe 2 quarters before the end of the year, right, that the Fed will increase. But that doesn't mean it's going to immediately have an impact on mortgage rates, right, or credit card rates or car interest rates, etc. But it's a pause right now because we feel like there's some lapse in between, and they don't want to move too fast and throw us into, forget a recession, a depression.
Right. And mortgage rates are supposed to follow inflation. So if inflation goes down, then mortgage rates will go down, which brings us to the next point, interest rates. We're sitting in an environment where it's 5 to 7% interest rates, depending on if you're going FHA or conventional, and homes are still selling. So if rates were to drop, which it looks like they should, because the Federal Reserve is bringing down inflation, so that should drive down interest rates, that's going to cause another increase in home prices. Yep. So this is an opportunity for a lot of people. Of course, you have to get over the monthly payment with a higher interest rate. But if you buy now, you can refinance later to get to that payment you ultimately want. The problem is it's not guaranteed, right? And how long will it take? No one has that answer. But one thing we are looking at is the inventory is going to be a problem for the next 10 years or so.
At minimum.
So if that's the case, values will be holding steady no matter what happens almost.
Absolutely. There's not going to be a lot to change unless somebody snaps their fingers and there's an extra 2 million homes by next month. We're going to continue to see properties appreciate, right? Which brings us to our next point, is appreciation, right? So yes, over the last couple of years, we had astronomical appreciation in a lot of markets, especially in Southern California where we are. We've had some astronomical numbers. Now that appreciation is not going to continue at that level, but we still are going to be appreciating. We're not in a market where we're seeing depreciation, where homes are actually losing value, right? So I believe this year we're anticipated to do somewhere between 5 and 7% in home appreciation. So that means the house this year that you're quote unquote waiting for is going to cost you a minimum 5 to 7% more next year. Now, most people's income is not going to increase by 5 to 7%, which means you're going to afford a lesser home by waiting. This is simple. These are facts. You don't have to take our words for it. These are things that you can research for yourself.
Yeah. The cost of waiting is detrimental. We're going to probably see a lot of people not be able to afford a house at all in our lifetime, the way things are moving. It is detrimental for most people to get pre-approved, get themselves into a house, get something that you can afford so you can hopefully start building appreciation, even sell it later. People ask me when's a good time to buy. I always ask them when's a good time to start paying on a 30-year mortgage.
Right.
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
So let's get it going. July market update, Carlden Lainfiesta, the Mortgage Fiesta.
Otis L. Milton, the Mortgage Millennial, and you know the motto, people. Until next time.